This is the third page of review 8.4 to 8.6. Determine whether the given x value is a solution of the equation. There's a couple different ways we could do this. We could solve it out. We could try to plug 3/2 into the equation and verify that. So I would plug in 4, 3/2 minus 3 plus 2, 3/2 plus 4, and that should equal something 2 times 3/2, 3/2 squared minus 8. On this side, the 2's would cross out, and 3 would be 3 minus 3, which would make 0. 0 in the denominator. Not a solution. On this side, we try to plug in 4. 4/8 minus 2/4. That could make 8/8. That would be 8 minus 8, which is 0/16. This could be moved up to 4/8, which is 0 equals 0. Solve the equation by cross-multiplying. So if one of the terms does not have a denominator, you can refer that as a 1. Cross-multiply. Distribute. X is 8. 8 does not make the denominator 0, so we're okay. Cross multiply. Distribute. -3 and -2 is -5x, positive 6. So 6x equals 6, and x would equal 1. 1 does not make the denominator 0, so we're good with that. Solve the equation by using the least common denominator. We could multiply each term by the least common denominator. Or we could multiply by just the 2 and then later just the x, or the 2x together, your choice. That would leave us with 3x, 2, 2x, and 8. Subtract 2 to the other side. X equals 6. 6 does not make the denominator 0, so we're okay. Here you can multiply each term by the denominator. 4 does not make the denominator 0, so we're okay. Solve the equation by using the least common denominator. This is a little bit more involved. This is the difference of two squares. Now I'm going to multiply through the first time by the first denominator. So we get 4. Here, they can't cross out, so you have 2 times x minus 3, with x plus 3 still in the denominator. And then I'm going to multiply through with x plus 3. Nothing to cross out. They cross out there, so you would get 2x minus 6 if you distribute the 2 through. They cross out there, so I'll distribute again the 2x plus 2. (4x plus 12). Collecting like terms, I would get 6x, and I get a positive 6, minus the 2x this way, subtract the 6 that way. X equals -1. And we look at the denominators. That would not make the denominator 0, so that's an answer. Factor apart what we can. This is a sum, but there's nothing we could factor out of that. You can't factor the sum of perfect squares, but 20 is not a perfect square anyway. This is the difference of two squares. This is 2x minus 1 and 2x plus 1. I'm going to multiply through by my first denominator. Those who cross out. Nothing crosses out. With this one, this is 2x minus 1, 2x plus 1. Doesn't cross out. Then I'm going to multiply through by 2x plus 1 again. Nothing crosses out. Watch your negative. So it's going to be negative 4x and a positive 2. That'll be a big concern. This makes 2x squared plus x. This makes x squared, negative 3x, and a negative 18. This is a quadratic. We can try factoring that. X and x multiplies to be negative 18, and adds to be negative 3. 6 and 3, a negative and a positive. So x equals positive 6, x equals negative 3. The 6 doesn't make the denominator 0, and neither does the 3. So we're good. This is the 4th page of review 8.4 to 8.6. This is the 2nd page for 8.6. It costs a manufacturer company $8 to produce 1 can of paint. The initial investment was $50,000. How many cans of paint must be produced before the average falls to $10? Well, the total cost is $8 for every can of paint plus $50,000. That $50,000 is a one-time fee to get all the equipment for making the paint. That's your total cost. So if you made 10 cans of paint, you would multiply 8 by 10 and then add it to your $50,000. If you made 1,000 cans of paint, you would add that product to $50,000. If you want the average, then you need to divide it by the number of cans. Now you have the total cost divided by the number of cans that you're making. And you want the average to equal $10. So, over 1, and we cross multiply. We need to make 25,000 cans of paint. The last question. The cost of fueling your car for 1 year can be calculated using this equation. Last year you drove 22,500 miles. That's the number of miles you drove. You paid $2.25 per gallon. That's the amount that you paid per gallon. You spent $2,025 on gasoline. That was your fuel cost. What was the fuel efficiency rate? So I have 2,025, and that's going to equal my total miles times 2.25 over x. Well, place this over 1 and you have a proportion. So we'll cross multiply. We could multiply 22,500 times the 2.25, and we'll get 50,625. When we divide by 2,025, we have a fuel efficiency rate of 25. The units for this would be, this was money, this was miles, this is money per gallon. When you divided by money, you cross the money out and you're left with miles per gallon.